Hi, Greg Weldon here with the Global Macro Strategy Report for Wednesday, December 24th. It is Christmas Eve, and I want to say have yourself a very merry Renminbi Christmas. And when I saw the move in the Renminbi today, after talking about it for 2 weeks, after we put it on in the futures market, and I originally was going to do the World Crop Report from the USDA, how that ties in with La Nina to give us an opportunity in some of these agricultural commodities where the supply-demand fundamentals are shifting, and particularly how that relates to China, which makes it even more interesting. I could combine that, be a massive piece, and it's Christmas Eve. So I'm hitting you early with less. We'll bring that agricultural piece next Monday, maybe Friday, doubtful. I'm not putting the pressure on myself. But the lyrics of this song, when I pulled them up to be the title of today's, newfangled GMSR, I was shocked at how kind of dark this song was. MGM hires songwriters in 1944, World War II, to provide a message of hope brought by Judy Garland, kind of a darling of America, and the voice of the over the rainbow type of thing. And the words are really disturbing and yet applicable to the macroeconomic and geopolitical scene we have right in front of us for 2026. This song is perfect. The move in the renminbi is perfect, and it sets up the lyrics that don't fit with that kind of fit so well, I should say, with the mood. Public debt, 10 trillion to roll over this year. I mean, seriously? Rising unemployment. You have deflation in the labor market coming from AI. You got soaring consumer credit delinquencies and bankruptcies. You have no savings, no real economic income growth relative to inflation. It's still very high inflation for services, 3 to 5%, pretty much across the board. The majority, 60% of service prices, 84 indexes are running at 3% or higher year over year. You do throw in anything that has the word insurance into it, home, health, and auto, you're getting crushed. You have another round of inflation. It'll be the dagger in the heart of the consumer and U.S. consumer final demand. Now, as we see the renminbi move, that brings in the whole play here that I've been talking about a little bit, mostly on the side, about China, about the holiday. It's the one place they don't really celebrate some form of Christmas, Hanukkah, Festivus, whatever the case may be. And they have their own New Year, which is the Lunar New Year coming later. So they're, set up to be, loose and fancy free here in the markets for the next 2 weeks when everyone else is kind of taking some downtime. This sets up an opportunity for them to, potentially make a move on their own currency to the degree of let it rally, let it appreciate. A lot of people now are out there saying that it's overvalued. I agree. I've been saying that for a while. And in that vein, they could potentially, as it relates to commodities that they're going to need, buy some of these commodities at lower prices in renminbi terms. They could manipulate these markets in the next 2 weeks. I think the rise in the renminbi today is telltale to that. There's risk here that it's a Fed fake. It's risk here that they want to catch speculators, or there could be a variety of motives here potentially, and they could intervene, and we could be wrong here. I wouldn't say this is a high probability trade, but I feel like this is a big potential trade and play. All right, because the renminbi is breaking on a long-term basis. I've been touting this for a couple of months now. And if you want to put pressure on the U.S., what do? Knock the dollar down, and then, in terms of China, and then try and get the price of oil up a la OPEC and Russia. And what happens? Consumer gets crushed. Higher energy price right now would be the worst thing for the Fed, because at lower energy prices and actual deflation in energy has been the cause of disinflation. Without it, you don't have any narrative about lower inflation. This is why. And a lower dollar means higher commodity prices, which means more inflation. And when I talk into the ring, the news about La Nina from NOAA this past weekend, this could be a big deal. All right? All wrapped up into one kind of holiday gift that you really don't want to open. So, you're going to have rocks in your stocking here. If we go back to the song, because here's the song. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. It may be your last. Next year, we may all be living in the past. Come on. That's like if America has this inflation problem, the economy gets whacked, stock market's down, and we have an issue. It's already global war for resources. I mean, come on, man. That's, you can see that. I'm not trying to be a doom and gloomer. People want to ramp up the GDP numbers, throw that out the window. It doesn't really matter right now. I mean, it doesn't. It's the consumer. The consumer's choking. No good times like the olden days. Happy golden days of yore will be to us no more. Will be near to us no more. Hello? I mean, I think a lot of people feel that. The sweet spot of our society is behind us. As a society, as a peace, serenity, love your brother, do unto your other, love thy neighbor, I should say, and do unto your other. All those kinds of things. But at least we'll be all together. And if the Lord allows from now on, we'll muddle through somehow. Is that America, muddling through? It makes me think of John Malden, all right, and his muddle through economy. Is one of his taglines. We should be so lucky as to muddle through. And that may turn out to be the case. I think that that's maybe even the best top economic case is to muddle through. We'd be, again, so lucky. But it's never been more critical, and this shows us to be involved in things other than passively invested in stock indexes, mutual funds, the Mag 7. This year has already proven the point that I've been making since 2018, and you want hardcore evidence of it, the moves in platinum and palladium this month. There's the proof. I wrote about this back in September. I caught these moves, all right? You know that because you've been listening to me. You know that because we had this position on. And I've talked about this. We'd rather hold silver and copper, but also liked platinum and palladium. All right? Book those profits this morning, which is going to lift this year's return to close to 30%. So while I heal from my surgery and am most grateful for the people in my life, I will have to say a merry little Christmas to all of us, to all of you, because 2026 is going to bring much more of this, and that means opportunity. And the best way to take advantage of that opportunity, frankly, is by doing what we're doing in our money management program. And you know that I don't sell this, and that's not even what I started to intend to say, but as I hear myself talking, that's the conclusion. It really is. I help you, you help me too. I want to take advantage of this as well and provide more for my familia in the holiday period. All right, so let's start with La Nina. It is for real. All right, you talk about what happens